What's up, guys? Alright, so this video we're going to be taking the California T and we're going to be racing it. We're going to be modifying it. I'm going to be racing it exclusively on Leguna Seca. Just for whatever reason, I just wanted to use this track. So first thing I'm going to do is try and modify this car, although I don't know if I've ever driven it. Just trying to modify it to get it to the 700 level. Did the race cam and do the race suspension. I think I do. No, I don't do any weight reduction this time. Anti-roll bars. Gonna widen up those front tires. Hopefully add a little bit of braking and handling. Again, we're trying to keep this in A class, so just trying to get to exactly 700 here. Not sure that I do. I don't think I do. I just left it at 699. I did all my little tricks to try and get to exactly 700, and I decided that 699 was good enough for me. Alright, so let's get this party started. Gonna do the fixed start. Pretty good start for me, especially seeing that I haven't driven this car very much, or not sure I've driven it at all, honestly. And my driving here is about to show it. I went straight from driving a front wheel drive car to this car, and they're miles apart as far as performance, so this first lap is ugly, to say the least. Kind of learning how to drive a rear wheel drive car all over again. But I can assure you that the second lap is worth the wait, so plenty of speed in this car, plenty of speed in this setup, but not really the best in the braking department. Like I said, I think this is all exaggerated because I was used to driving my CRX, and this car is not my CRX. Just use this guy as my brakes, no big deal. Alright. Just barely caught the brakes in time for this corner, but overall pretty happy with how I did around it. Not perfect, but good enough for me. I was pretty happy that there happened to be a gap in the pack here, so I pretty much had an open track, which is what I wanted, so I could set the fastest lap time that I could. It was a nice little break there for me. Just barely made it into that corner. Couldn't have started braking any later and made it, so pretty happy about that. This corner and the next corner give me trouble. That last one especially is hard to set up for. Almost blew that corner entirely. At least we didn't end up in the dirt. But this is just kind of a setting up, see how we did lap. 139.095, so we're just going to keep that in mind for when we modify and see if we can't go a little bit faster. I do think as I drive this car more, I'll get better at driving it around this track, so each time you know, that we do mods and stuff, I should get a little bit better at driving the car anyway, so we'll see how that plays into my performance as well and my lap times. I think the fastest lap, if I remember, because I can't read them, is like a 136, so we've got a pretty significant amount of time to cut off. But we'll see if we can't get there. So I didn't really like the braking that I had set up for this car, so I'm gonna quick do some mods to see if I can't make a bit of a change in the way that this car handles and performs. Gonna quick go back to the default mods. And then I think we're going to jump right into some tire mods. Right away, I was like, wow, we could have 5.3 for braking and handling. But then I saw that the race tires were 5.5, and I was like, oh, there's no way I can't go faster in this car around Leguna Seca with a 5.5 versus a 5.3. Even if I can't do anything to the motor. So all I've done is the suspension and the tires. So we're back, and I think in the next video, I'm pretty sure I trimmed it, so we'll see. Yeah, so I accidentally did a 4-lap race, but this is my last lap with those modifications. Again, it's just the race tires, race suspension, and a drive shaft upgrade. With the performance level on handling and braking went up by 0.2, which is pretty significant when it's 5.3 to 5.5, especially on a more technical track like Leguna Seca. So this has been a pretty good lap. Not bad around that corner. Like I said, it gives me some trouble sometimes. This corner, I couldn't have done any better with that one. Let's see if I can hold it together in this last part. Okay, not great. We didn't totally lose it, but pretty significant loss of time there, I'm not gonna lie. But I kept it because we still ran way faster, 137.7. So again, I was like, alright, well, time to go back, see if I can't mod this car again to go even faster than that. So I like to add some aero. Because it's on a more technical track, it's kind of like free speed. Yeah, on a high speed course like Daytona or something, it's not really gonna help you unless you just really need it or something. But on a more technical course like Leguna Seca, aero is kind of a no-brainer, I think. Especially on a car like this Ferrari that already has a high acceleration and top speed rating. Not sure why I paused here so long, I'm sorry. I was contemplating life or something. Went with the second to last one because the last one upped our performance number a little bit, but it didn't actually add any points to our 4 categories. So I was like, yeah, whatever, we'll leave it. Race cam, because I love the high revving. I think it's a great way to make your car faster. Gotta do the race suspension. I mean, you don't have to, but I prefer it. I mean, it makes such a big difference in handling, and seeing that that's what this car needs is some kind of improvement in handling, then it seems like a kind of a slam dunk as far as, or more of an obvious choice, I guess you could say. Just gonna quick adjust my final drive ratio. This car does have 6 gears, and I want to use most, if not all of them, so I'm just going to increase our final drive ratio until we get to a point where we've skimmed maybe a couple miles an hour off our top speed. At this point, I think we're ready to race this car. So here we come. Gonna set ourselves up well for the beginning of the second lap. I turned collision mode off because I had a couple races where I was neck and neck with the BAC mono, and then it crashed in front of me and totally screwed up my lap, and I got fed up with it. So I was like, you know what, turning this crap off. I'm glad it's an option in this game. I think it's a very nice option. I think I might use it more than I have been. I kind of forget about it sometimes, but so we're on track. We're in the green by a few seconds, I think close to 3 seconds in each sector, so if we can keep that up, we're definitely going to set a very quick lap time. That final drive ratio, you can see really making a difference. We're getting up in the 5th gear in that little straight there, and that's really it's definitely a good thing for us. So pretty much nailed those last 2 corners. Couldn't be more stoked about that. This is, again, not great, but good enough that I think this is worth keeping. That's gonna net us a 137.241, which is a little bit faster than we went before, so I'm happy with that. But I decided to try and mod this car again, doing just tires and weight reduction. Did I do some aero? Can't remember. Oh, looks like I did. Just the front splitter. Not a bad choice. I think the only horsepower upgrade I did was the valves. I think it added about 15 horsepower, but I got us right close to that 700 number. And with the racing flywheel, we got exactly 700, so that's good. That's what we're aiming for. Not too bad of a start there. Pretty happy with it. Again, we turned collision mode off. It's interesting to see how much faster the computer can run without worrying about running into itself and into you. I might turn the collision mode off like it is now more often so I can get a little bit more of a challenge, because I do play on unbeatable and I oftentimes win. So right now though I'm not winning, and I kind of like that. I kind of like the challenge of the computer. Not really my best setup on that last corner for this second lap, but we're just going to take it in stride, and we're going to do the best we can on this second lap to see if we can't best our time a little bit here. Again, we can notice the difference between when we had the final drive ratio changed in that stretch and when we didn't. We topped out in 4th gear, and when we changed it we were in 5th, so it's pretty significant. Probably one of the better times I've taken that corner in this whole video, if not the best time. And we did a 136.2, so that's a huge improvement for us. So I have to say I was pretty happy with that. Still not first, but like I said, that was probably our fastest lap yet, so happy about that. So just to amuse myself, I decided that I had to try the same race with the quick upgrade. So I think I went in there just to check what exactly the stats were. I think top speed was a little bit higher. It was like 7.6 versus the stock is like 7.4, I think. But most of the mods that I've done, it's been like 7.4, 7.5. So it did increase top speed. I think acceleration was actually a little on the low side. It was 8.6 versus my 8.7. But I do believe that handling and braking were both around 5.3 or 5.4. Off to a pretty good start here. Did notice that the car is definitely a little bit faster. You can tell that there's more horsepower. We'll say we are keeping up with the front runners in this race, which is interesting. Probably means we're going a little bit faster, which you know, the quick upgrade is supposed to be the fastest that car could possibly be at that performance level. So I'm not surprised. Kind of blew that corner. Whatever. We're here to set a lap time and not really win the race necessarily, so don't really care. Overall, I'd say this lap's going pretty well so far. Pretty happy with it. Did notice with the higher horsepower that we did get into 5th gear there. And remember, we do have the stock final drive ratio, so it goes to show that we are definitely going faster. Pretty decent around that corner. This corner, really pretty good. Pretty happy with that. But wow, a 135.9. So we managed to shave an extra like 3/10 off of our time. I don't know what to say. I mean, I've been bested by the computer. I guess I'm just gonna have to live with that. But it was fun to mess around. It was fun to make this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.